All right, welcome back to another episode. I hope you're having a nice Tuesday. I'm extremely excited because the Project Tempest program, now known as the 12 Weeks to Limitless program, is 95% ready to go, and I can officially announce that it will launch on the 31st of January 2020. I'll be giving you some more information about this over the next few weeks, and you'll have the opportunity to join me in a post-Christmas challenge to start the year strong. But for today, we're going to be looking at why we do things that we know are bad for us. It's part of a reoccurring theme at the moment as we head into Christmas. I've talked a lot recently about perspective, hibernation, holiday mentality, all that kind of stuff. So this ties in. Now, as humans, we often do things that we know logically in our mind are bad for us. Be that smoking, drinking, overeating, overexercising, partying, engaging in toxic relationships, all that kind of stuff. We all do it and it seems so easy. But if we know it's bad, why do we do it? And better yet, why do we keep doing it? Now, here's the thing. We have the capacity to think logically, unlike other animals. Yet we're also driven by innate primal impulses and desires for gratification. What it is that gives us the gratification and satisfaction does vary person to person, but at its core, what we're chasing is a feeling. Now, most commonly, we're trying to get away from how we don't want to feel by pursuing something more pleasurable, something more gratifying. We're looking to create a shift in state via an external stimulus. So as we run from what we don't want, we tend to lose sight of what we really want in favor of that momentary fix. And that moment of satisfaction can end up like an addiction, and you can argue over the nature of addiction, chemical responses, all that kind of stuff, but really you're not addicted to the thing itself, the stimulus, shall we call it. You're actually addicted to the feeling that it gives you, and for some people also the process of seeking it because of the feeling. So what we're looking for is a final result, which is that feeling. We're always chasing a feeling. People don't do drugs or drink because they think the drugs themselves are some kind of amazing thing. They do it because of how it makes them feel. And that feeling provides a momentary reprieve from all the other shit that you're feeling and you're perhaps not prepared to deal with. And the secret to stopping that kind of behavior lies in learning to accept all of your emotions for what they actually are. Now, emotions are just the label that you give to a feeling, and a feeling is simply feedback to experience. So you experience something, whether that is a real external experience or something you have imagined. Your body takes in the data, processes it, and then produces chemicals, which we know as feelings. And to better understand those, we then give them labels, which we call emotions. So you label whatever feeling you're having with an emotional tag that seems appropriate for that moment. And at the heart of it, feelings then are nothing more than data. They are just how we process data from experiences. Yeah, they're incredibly powerful data because of the impact that they have on our actions. So when we choose to do something that we know is bad for us, we're running away from something we don't want to feel in search of something we would rather feel. And the reality of it is, you get what you focus on. So if you focus on how shit you're feeling all the time, you're going to feel like shit. So it becomes natural to try and find relief from that feeling in the form of some kind of pleasure-seeking behavior. But that behavior is temporary. It's like putting a plaster on a massive axe wound. It'll keep bleeding until you stitch it up and you let it heal. And if you pick at it, it's going to get worse because what you focus on will grow. So the secret to breaking a cycle lies in chasing how you actually want to feel rather than running away from how you don't want to feel. If you can figure out what you want to feel and what it is that will make you feel that way, then you can take action steps to making that happen. And when you can take those action steps, you negate the need for all the negative behavior that you've been engaging in, okay? Because you have an alternative way of getting those feelings that you want. Because behind every single goal and every action, every reaction is a feeling. Whether they are good or bad, it's irrelevant, because you're always going to experience a whole spectrum of feelings, and some of them are not going to necessarily be what you want. But if you can learn to acknowledge them, let them pass, and then use them to deepen your understanding of yourself instead of running, then your emotions can become a really helpful tool rather than a hindrance to you. Now, your emotional intelligence is a huge factor in living a life that you love, and it's something that can and really should be trained, which is why I've made it a huge part of the 12 Weeks to Limitless program. So with all of that said, a call to action for you today is to identify one action that you do consistently that you know is not good for you. Then I want you to take that through a 5 whys exercise. So why do you do that action? And then why is it that you do that? And why do you think that is? So on and so forth, until you come up with the real reason, so that real feeling that you are running away from. Because that feeling is the one thing that is driving your actions. So go through that, identify something that you do that you know you shouldn't do, and then get to the root of whatever feeling it is that you're actually running from. Because when you know what you're running away from, you can figure out what you need to move towards. So that's going to be all for this week. For more training and exclusive content, head over to the Limitless Living group. I will put a link up here, and join us, because there's all kinds of good stuff in there. There's extra training that nobody other than those group members are going to get. So it's worth exploring that group. Jump on in there and have a little look around. Other than that, I will be back next week with another episode. Have a very nice day.